So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Berger. Complete to Drake London.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. It's hard to do because you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Operating from the gun, Berger. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sand. And that'll bring up 3rd. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Looking to throw. Berger will try and do this himself. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 35-yard line. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Touchdown, New York.
25 yards for the touchdown. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Point after here coming up. And that one makes it 14-7.
Next to score, Dolphins 14, Jets 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, of course, this a critical game in regards to not just the division race, but playoff seeding as well. They are a game up, but a loss here could really muddy the waters.
And both of these teams want to clear things up about how they feel about each other and their standing in the league. Because these two teams, they've really been the cream of the crop in their division. So this game, it's been looming on both of their schedules.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Third down at 13. They'll look to throw here. And he is caught. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Cup 19, Cup 19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
18, Pioneer, Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the Jets pressure, 2 notches, down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Let's go. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats. 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Berger looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Knight. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
5 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
From the gun on 3rd down. Berger. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free plays for the offense. But I think you've got to do a combination of things. Chip at his timing at the line of scrimmage, have extra people in the territory for him. You've got to do everything and change it up from snap to snap.
First down, New York.
He finds his man, complete. It's Knight. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
42-yard line.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
And the Jets first down.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got his man London right side. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Operating from the gun. Berger. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jets are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Let's go now.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides. But sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that and trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
At the
2nd down and 3. Back to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 19, 18. 65. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. 19 tight, 19 tight. Ready, ready?
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
That's good.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Ready? 70 Lions.
They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Cougar 19.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. On the move past the 40. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready?
Back to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout.
It's a gain of 8.
As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now a 2nd and 2.
Come on. 19 Charger, 19 Charger. Mustang 19.
Back to throw here. That's going to be caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. And the Dolphins will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the... as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And got his man, complete. Down to the 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott on for the extra point. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He'll hit Whitaker in the flat. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
2nd and 2. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That is incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard
line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest in first half, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 3.
Ready? 60 Eagles!
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and handling a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Jets have cut it back within a score. Extra point splits the uprights. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here. I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll set up a throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Again, he'll drop the throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
32-yard line.
Cavalry Lions. 18, Pioneer. Go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
Think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah. And now look at him go. Look at the big man rumble. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. With now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Jets are an extra point away from evening this one up. Point after, right down the middle. And we are all tied at 28. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
21-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the 2nd half. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Yeah, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
21-yard line.
Cut back team, cut back. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Dragon 60.
Looking to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before it's taken down. With that, he's up to 160 yards receiving now for the ball game.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The gain of 5. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 47-yard line.
Here we go, set. 60 Eagles.
Out of the gun is a give to Achane. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Hey, check that. Street. Let's go now. Hawk 70. Hawk set. Check. Hurt. Check go.
They'll run for it with Achane. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. Called out a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last time that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Come on. All 80.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and stack things up and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Cougar 19.
Here's 2nd and 8. Throw left side. There's London. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
A gain of 11 on the play. 1st down, Jets.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line.
70 Timberwolves. Go.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 2.
Go. Cowboy 80.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
And bring down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Jets. 1st down. A gain of 13 yards.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They go play action here on 1st down. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Shot.
On play action, they'll throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And his kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. That's Roberts. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks like it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Two yards to go, 2nd down. A give left side, here's Achane. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
70 Timberwolves.
They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
60 Mavericks, 60 Mavericks.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
Cup 19, Cup 19, Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Motion. Ready.
Now back to throw. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down just shy of 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. The end result, 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Right there. Here we go. Here we go. Cavalry Lions. Let's go.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
19, Sergeant.
Up the middle, Achane. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats. 79 Broncos. 60 Bobcats.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins have taken a 4th-quarter lead. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Looking to put a drive together.
Buffalo 18. Bronco switch. Bronco switch. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. 18. 5.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now he'll tuck this and run. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw away.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
Let's go now. Hey.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let it just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 95 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Let's go. Viking 18.
Back to throw now on first down. He'll get this complete to Whittington. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Second and 5 at the 27-yard line.
Here comes second down at 5.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready, go. Let go.
This is Whitaker.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The noise is getting deafening. Here's third down and 3.
Trap 60.
He's back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 13-yard line. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's first and 10 now. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
Cowboy 80. 70.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow.
The kicker on.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
They'll come up first and 10 here.
Pass the 60. Pass the 50. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Cup 19. Cup 19.
He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's brought down at midfield. So the first play of the drive, not only do they get the first down, but a big chunk of yardage. And looking pretty good here.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Let's go now. Viking 18.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for the Jets, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.